So I'm married. I'm married to this guy. He's called Kilroy. His parents come from Illinois, but he's been here since he was a little boy. We've been close friends since I remember consciousness, that age of 7 where you're like, hey, I exist. We used to pedal on our bikes through Lewisham bits, but now he drives. He's a scientist. He gets busy, I get silly, I get annoying, and I nag. But whenever it gets on top of me, I remember the day that we first kissed, and anything that's bothering me just simply gets dismissed. This one time I got lonely. I made friends with this guy, and although he was just my homie, Kilroy thought I was acting sly. I don't know, Lakeisha, I don't like it. Guys and girls just can't be friends, especially when he's single and his whole well-being depends on you. Nah, I just don't like it. Tell him bye, I'm just not down. I said, Kilroy, just stop, just look at me a sec. I mean it, turn around. My husband gazed deep in my eyes, my scientist, my man. And in all our silence, we devised a commodity, a plan. Kilroy had this cousin, this girl so hot she just did damage. She was single, so we begged her to clear her schedule, see what she could manage. Kilroy got her, I brought my friend, he saw her, he said, damn it. I said, all right, just start with names. He said, hi, climate. She said, I'm planet. Profile pictures, Instagram, status changed on Facebook. The two of them didn't speak to us for weeks after that first day they'd hooked up. Now, we didn't want to be nosy, we get space, we've got respect, but Kilroy and I were just curious about how they were, so we checked. Weeks into their relationship, Climate tweeted that he didn't like how she was treating him. His mum jumped in agreeing, telling Planet to just stop tweeting him. We scrolled through their timeline, seeing evidence of hurts, trapping each other with jealousy, the greenhouse effect, and spiteful words. I held on to my husband as we observed this social mess. And though we weren't hurt directly, we felt a little stressed. I said, Kilroy, are we in danger? He said, babe, coming from the heart. Forget me and you, I feel bad for them. I mean, we did play a part. I nodded. And sometimes that's all you can do. I'll meet with one of them. No worries, I'll meet one too. So I'm sitting in the cling-clang corner section of a monotone cafe where the kitchen and the toilet are both equally right behind me, and Climate is sat beside me at a kind of 90-degree angle where we make an awkward L shape around our rectangular table because it seems less anal than facing the same direction. You have my full attention, I told Climate. He said, man. He exhaled over his omelette, toast, and baked beans and then began. Selfish, drama, stubborn, unstable. There's not one thing about her energy that I believe to be sustainable. And, the grudges, she was lazy. She would dig old problems out of the ground like coal. She said she had trouble renewing her energy and things between us were getting old. And I get change, people change, we both change is natural. Even rainfall eventually distributed itself unevenly from my eyes, and that was gradual. Sometimes she'd trigger floods of tears in me, enough to swipe out families, or the opposite, a drought, no crying, just heat. She'd get me angry. Her arms spoke stories of self-harm. I called the doctors and told her carefully. Her dad went mad, called me invasive. Her old man, he didn't care for me. Her mother had a nice nature. She was passionate about growing crops and anthropology. Her dad was a politician. The only thing he was passionate about growing was the economy. All of a sudden, Planet burst in with my husband, her cousin too. The staff looked scared. He's a scientist, don't worry, he's not going to trouble you. Acting like man's Walter White, he said, giving me a hug. Planet, I was just talking to Climate, he was just telling me what's up. Yeah? Well, did he mention our trip to Haiti, where he let off wind and didn't say pardon? Oh, that's unfair. What's unfair is you smell like sewage, you smell like hydrocarbon. Guys, Kilroy tried. Guys, but no one would listen. And Kilroy was heavily articulate, but just not so strong in his conviction. And with him being a scientist, he's good at this stuff, and he knows just what to do. But with all his science jargon, I guess could occasionally come across off-putting to you. I just wish that he was heard more glorified and more accessible. He dished out advice to Planet. I just wish he didn't feel his words were so forgettable. He told me that she said that. He spotted it on her timeline. I retweeted indirects about ungratefulness and blocked her so she couldn't find mine.